With that, I've got Chris on the line. I'm going to play a little bit of All in Good Time in a few minutes. Good morning, Chris Falconer.
Morning, Damien. Thanks for having me on.
Not at all. It's a pleasure to have you on. Talk to me about Waiting Space, an audio and visual project. How did it come about?
I suppose it kind of started by accident, like all good things. I used to play in a lot of bands from town, and my last main band kind of ran the length of my time in college. And then when we finished up, we all kind of went into different directions, literally in the world, some over to New York, some to Dublin, some to Vietnam and things like that. So we didn't know when we kind of get back together again. So I decided that in the waiting space in between, which is where part of where the name came from, I started just recording by myself in the bedrooms, initially just coming up with ideas for when the band could get back together. But then it kind of gave me an opportunity to start working on stuff that wouldn't fit the band necessarily, but I'd like to kind of make. And I'd always kind of worked as just a singer and a drummer, so worked at home and just using your laptop and sitting in the room allowed me to learn new instruments and learn new different techniques. And I kind of got into music production and recording and mixing, all those things that I was kind of sheltered away from when you're just a performer, when you're not working in the studio. And after that, I said, well, why stop at the music part? And why not teach myself some video editing software and video production and learn about cameras and things like that to make videos to complement these pieces as well. So it kind of developed, starting out as a music project, then became this visual thing. And now every time I make a new piece of music, I make a video to accompany it as well.
Yeah, no, it's a wonderful idea, and this is part of our celebration of Waterford Music Week, and well done to Ray C and everybody involved with that. What sort of influences? I'm looking at your sort of 9 singles done so far, and diverse musical artists from 9 Inch Nails and others, but how would you describe it?
That's part of the problem when you're kind of sitting by yourself.
You don't want to be bracketed, yeah.
Yeah, and you don't have the limits of instrumentation when you're working on a laptop, where you can literally employ anything. Even if you're one person, you can write a string quartet piece behind you, or you can write a full band behind you. And if you have the techniques of having learned how to jam as a band, you kind of know how to replicate that, even if it is just yourself. So I'm unbound in that sense. So I end up writing whatever I kind of enjoy writing at one time. So a lot of my stuff is kind of led by the piano, so I can have very intimate, atmospheric piano pieces. But then I was a drummer when I was a teenager too, so the next time you sit down, you might want to write something with a big bombastic electronic drum beat behind it, and then you can merge those two together, or you go in completely different directions. And it's nice, and I suppose it reflects people's taste nowadays as well, with things like Spotify, where they can listen to one artist 1 second and then listen to another artist the next with completely different backgrounds. So genreless, I suppose, is the way of describing it.
And did you get a drum kit when you were a young gossoon as a young lad for Christmas or something, or when did it start?
Yeah, literally a Christmas thing. So I dabbled with piano for a little bit, and I wasn't great at it, to be honest. And then the drum was just, as a teenager, the drum is like this brilliant noise-making instrument, so that became the main thing. But vocals were my main things over the years, and all my more successful bands, it was all kind of vocals. But what's great about now with Waiting Space is having always been a vocalist, I can actually just make music that's just instrumental as well occasionally, which is nice because it was something that I never kind of got to do, because I was always thinking about how you put a vocal melody over the top of this, or how you make this a song that's structured around the singer. And it's nice to be able to make music that isn't like that too, something that's just a little bit more in the background or atmospheric, or accompanies something else instead of being written around the voice as well.
No, really, really good. And you're currently working on a debut album, are you?
There's a cut line there, but I think you're asking about the album. Yes, so I'm thinking about working on a kind of a 10 to 12 song thing over the next year, and each song is going to have an accompanying video as well. And at the moment, it's looking like it's going to be about Valentia Island off the coast of Kerry, which I used to go to the whole time as a teenager for the summer. And when lockdown kind of had those eased restrictions during the summer, it was the place I went to kind of take a break from all the lockdown we had here. And it was really inspiring to be literally back in a house that I went to every year for 4 or 5, 6 years when I was younger, and hadn't been for most of my adult life. So some are really different, and that's probably what's going to inspire it. So lots of landscape imagery and things like that are going to be accompanying the songs.
Great stuff. And Waiting Space, anybody wants to just Google that, or Waiting Space Music, and obviously through Bandcamp as well in terms of downloading some of the tracks. It's wonderful. Are you enjoying it, I suppose, that experimentation and that creativity, Chris? Do you love it?
Absolutely. Like last year, I got asked to do scoring for a couple of galleries. I was even featured in Lismore Castle Arts and things like that.
Yes.
And then just before Christmas, I decided to write the song, which I think you might be playing in a second, which is called All in Good Time, which is just a big pop song, essentially, kind of trying to use that platitude of all in good time. We'll see each other again. It's one of those things that you hold on to hope for at the right time to kind of get back together. And it was a charity single as well. So if anybody wants to pick that up, all the sales of it are going to loan, because I kind of particularly had my granny in mind when I was writing it, about trying to keep my distance from her, and people that some of the service users know they don't have any family kind of thing that can come see them, and they're kind of older generation as well. So they raised 280 before Christmas. So if people are interested in breaking that back out again and picking up the song on Bandcamp, all the sales of that are going to loan again as well.
Super. We're going to start it here now. What's your granny's name, by the way?
Betty Faulkner, and it was her birthday last week.
Hello, Betty.
So happy. That's brilliant. Thanks a million, Damien.
Listen, Chris, it's lovely to talk to you. Continued success, and thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks a million.
Thank you very, very much, Chris Faulkner there. Appreciate it. And as I said, it's Waiting Space music, and this is All in Good Time, a celebration of Waterford Music Week and the great creative talent that's out there.